Judge David Lewandowski here at the Lucas County Domestic Relations Court. And we want to talk a little bit about some of the things you deal with in your courts as we're talking for the last week or so about the case up in Morenci. Are there any factors that you see when you're going through a dissolution or a divorce that would signal to you that there could be any future violence that might happen in a family?
Well, our court counseling staff, we have social workers on staff that interview every family that goes through divorce. They have a protocol they go through to assess risk for domestic violence by one party against the other or against each other or potentially against other family members. But the fact is that these events are so rare and very unpredictable. There was a study done in Lucas County, a domestic violence fatality review funded by the federal government, and basically the conclusion is these events are hard to predict.
And that's got to be frustrating for you as a judge. I mean, you try to do the best you can to put people in the right situation, and when you hear something about this, it's got to tug at you a little bit about how you go through your daily work.
It's frightening and very troubling. It really is. I mean, when I heard this story Friday or Saturday or wherever it broke, I was just upset because now they're kids, and people in America have this faith in the law, but law is limited, and people do things, and the law can't prevent random acts of violence. It's just not set up to do that.
And when you're dealing with a divorce case that has kids involved, you probably have to have a special sense of sensitivity for the case because you're dealing with so many different lives, and then when you hear this, it's just another compounding factor.
Well, under state law, the court is required to do what's in the children's best interest. Now, normally that means who gets the kid on a Saturday, who's responsible for medical appointments. It's pretty mundane, daily living kind of decisions we make around here. We're not taking children away from their parents. That's usually done in juvenile court by Children's Services or some other state agency. So we're actually just encouraging moms and dads to come to agreements about their children. We have this social work staff I referred to earlier. We encourage mediation. We have trained professional guardians ad litem, we call them, that are child advocates that inform the court of their recommendations for what should be done with kids. So we try as much as we can to focus the energy on doing what's best for the kids. And when one of these events happens, it does sort of calls my role in all of this into question. It's just like, I've been doing it 18 years, and just makes you sick, and it's just a difficult thing for everyone in the community to deal with.
Well, how difficult can these cases be if both the parents aren't on the same page and are going at each other, and then you have to figure out what to do with the kids as these two might be going at each other?
We have several programs for what we call high conflict parents. Okay. We have a 10-week class that we send them to learn communication skills, to help them, encourage them to put aside some of the petty differences. We make referrals for psychological counseling. We make referrals for drug and alcohol treatment and counseling. Lots of our cases, like every court in America, deals with mental health issues. Some of the people that come through here are seriously troubled. Right. And so we take protective actions in those cases to protect the children with supervised visitation orders. We have a local group headed by Margaret Woolwert that does a visitation program for us. Okay. So if the moms and dads are so bitterly divided that they can't even drop off the kids without a fight or an argument, then they're taken to the visitation drop-off center, and then the other one comes a few minutes later and picks up the kids, and there's a protocol there.
So you have to be flexible.
We have lots of things at our disposal. It's just hard to predict when a family's going to need it when the case walks in the door. Now, 6 months later, we know a lot more about these people. And most of the people that are here are citizens. They don't have criminal records, but they get involved in the emotional part of the divorce. And sometimes they use the kids when they shouldn't be. And 6 months after the divorce, they're back to normal and things are fine because they've gotten over that emotional kick in the teeth that the divorce throws them off the ropes,
All right, well, Judge, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much this evening. And that is your Talk Back.